Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Jo. I am Belushi Stitches here on Flosstube and also over on Instagram. This is a channel about cross stitch. If you're new here, thank you very much for stopping by, and if you're returning, thank you for coming back. This is my end of February review. I thought this year I wanted to try and get a little bit more regular with my floss tubes, a little bit more regular with my updates. And I wasn't planning on being this regular because I only just put one up about 2 weeks ago, mid-Feb. So this might be the start of a monthly review update video, maybe. See what happens. But yes, so I have got, since my last floss tube, 2 whips to show you and 2 new starts, and I will just quickly let you know how I got on with my other kind of plans for February, and then plans for March. When I saw you last, I was working on a piece called Love by Dany Lizeth. This is charted by Gecko Rouge, and the kit comes from Gecko Rouge. I absolutely love it. And I was starting this one as a birthday start. Well, Kelly from Animal Instinct and Animal Stitches on Flosstube and on Instagram was starting this one for her birthday, and I already had it started but hadn't worked on it for ages, so I pulled it out as a birthday pickup again for Kelly. And I said in my last Flosstube I was planning on just sort of working on it on Kelly's birthday just for one day and putting it to one side until I finish my other whip, Astronaut. But actually I ended up working on it for 3 days and got quite a lot of progress. So I will put in a picture of where I was last time, and this is where I am now. More kind of that way, I suppose. So hopefully you'll be able to see I worked on all of this section here and came down. I absolutely love it. Now, I've said in previous videos that it was full of confetti, and after working on other things that were full of confetti, I've come back to this one and actually it's not as bad as I remembered. I think there's just lots of colour changes. So although in these sort of darker strips there are colours, colours that have quite a few stitches in the same symbol, the same colour, there are loads of colour changes in the rest of it. So yeah, and all this sort of section and stuff. So I find that really interesting. I think this one for me has got the right amount, the right balance. On my Astronaut piece that I'm working on, that I'll show you in a second, there's a whole heap of background which is all just one colour, and when you're doing that you want to do something more interesting. When you're doing like really confetti heavy stuff, you want to do background again. So this piece actually has quite a lot of both, the best of both worlds, so I'm really enjoying. I just didn't put it down. So I worked on it for 3 days. Let's see where I am. So I'm at 30% now on this one. As I said, I worked on it for 3 days. What I was going to show you was my end of days. Oh my god, I call it end of days all the time by accident. It's the book of days. So this is the book of days, which is a cross stitch, well, it's a journal for needlework enthusiasts. And in February it had some lovely Valentine's bits and pieces. So it has a box per day, and I just write in what I've worked on, and I put how many stitches I've done, and then I will do, if there's more than one project on one day, I'll just put a little total down the bottom, and then I will do like a summary on the side to remind me how many stitches I've done in the month, how many stitches year to date, starts, finishes, all the way around. All the whips, all the things that I worked on, and what is that? Oh yeah, and I've put in here a missed goal. This is full of spoilers for you for the rest of the episode. Got 3% done in 3 days, which I thought was pretty good. The colours in it are absolutely beautiful, and sorry, my camera's just gonna like sort itself out, but The colours in it are absolutely beautiful, and oh, I just absolutely love it. And then occasionally you'll get this random brown stitch or random pink stitch that you just think that can't be right, but it is. And there's so much more to go. Yeah, this is my fabric doing here. And that one's on 18 count white Ada that comes with the kit. Other than that, I've worked on my Astronaut piece, which is this one. By Unconventional X Stitch. It's 50,000, no it's not, it's 30,000 stitches. I'm doing this one on an 18 count black Ada, and my goal when I last spoke to you was to, all of this was done, I think all of this was done, and I was just going to work my way up and across to get this background filled in, or at least line it, so that one, I know that it matches up, and then two, I want this bit to be the last bit that I stitch. So I hadn't really planned on doing all the background all the way around, but once I got started on it, so I thought I'm going to do all of it. I'm going to show you where I am with my Pattern Keeper progress. Sorry, it's suddenly gone all bright. Turn it round and make it zoomy in. Oh yeah, and I will not choose a colour, and then there's no green bits. So this is where, oh, loads of glare. This is where I am so far. In fact, that doesn't even help you at all. I'll have to bring it in. So you can see here I've stitched all of this. The white section here is the unstitched section. So the rest of it is kind of shoulder, neck. This is the visor then. And then this dark blue colour here, this is the background that I've done all the way around. All the way around. There's still a little bit of the dark blue in here, but that's for later. So it matched up. I've worked it out. As I've been doing this, I have been counting across just to try and make absolutely certain that it's, oh, I'm counting down as well, just to make sure that it's going to match up to the bit that I've stitched already. You're just going to have to wait and see, but I'm pretty positive that I've counted correctly. Breaking things. Right, so this is where I am. I know it's still in the hoop, but this is what I'm doing. Here I am, here he is. So there's the pack that's kind of on his chest, and this is the background that's working. This bit here is the little bit under his, like the bottom of his helmet. You can see there the white sections, and I'm just going to work on this. So I am essentially going to be working on all of this, getting all of this done, and then I'm going to go straight to the top and do all of this, and then leave that till last. I'm at 87.99% so far. It keeps, every time I turn it, it turns around. 26, just over 26,000, and the whole thing is 30,000. So really not very much to go. Yeah, so it was a few days before the end of February, and about a week before the end of February, and I thought I could really get on with it and finish it by the end of Feb. And that was what I would really like to have done. But I decided not to. I decided not to pressure myself, not to go for it too much. Just have stitching again as something that if I could fit it in the day, then great, but it wasn't kind of like a daily goal that I needed to do. And I have really enjoyed that. And some days I've had sort of 250, 210, 250 stitches. And compared to last year when I was working on a much higher daily goal for a drift, this is quite a calm day. So I'm not finished, I haven't finished it in February. And after 1 or 2 days of thinking maybe I could really blast through it, I decided not to, and I've had a really nice casual week of the end of February. Stitching's been casual, life has not been casual, but yeah, I'm just going to work on it until it's finished, however long it takes. Realistically, it's not going to take me very long. It should be done by the end of March, and then yeah, and then I'm going to get on with the love piece. Is going to be my focus piece, full coverage piece going forward. There I am. I'll just bring you in a little bit. All I was going to say is, oh yeah, these are my book lights that I have. They're about 10, 13 quid from Amazon. I've just ordered loads. I've got 5 now, so I turn them into a rotation. One of them's not very good in that it's just not bright enough, and one of them is, what was the other one? I think there's 2 that aren't really bright enough. So I've got 3 really, really good ones that I absolutely love. But yeah, they're really lightweight and they just clamp on, and they're really good. And if I put it on now, let's just have a look. Yeah, this is the one that's not particularly bright. Anyway, I'll bring this in because I wanted to show you my white stitches. There you go. This is 3865, and on these ones, these are the only ones that I'm doing this on the whole piece. But on this one, I'm actually railroading my stitches, which is that on the second leg, so the top leg, I'm putting my needle between the 2 threads as I stitch in order to get them to lie really nicely. I do feel like they are laying really nicely because white stitches, light stitches are notoriously a bit of a nightmare, in that they can look really messy and they really show up more messy than others. But I think this is looking all right, but that is because I'm spending the time railroading, so that is also taking up more of my time. But I'll only do it with these very bright white colours. Anything else I wouldn't bother with. But I just wanted to bring that in and show you. So yeah, getting there, just gonna keep working on it. So in February, Emma from Emma X Stitching and I, got the itch. So in February, Emma from Emma X Stitching and I put out a stitch along called Hello Hare, Nice Spring in Your Step. This is a 3-month stitch along from February to April, and it's stitching Spring Hare by La Di Da, which is this one. Sorry for the glare and the noise all at the same time. It's this one, La Di Da. It's called Spring Hare. And we decided to do this one in 3 months, and you could choose how you wanted to stitch this one, like which bits you wanted to do at which time. So I started this one on the 14th of February. So I put off starting this one because I just couldn't decide what colour to do, what colour floss to use. I'd seen people, I can't remember who I first saw this stitching this. It was somebody on Flosstube, and they'd done a really kind of dark colour, almost like a dark blue. I can't really remember, if I'm honest. And it was really lovely. And then other people I've looked on Instagram, sorry I'm moving this about all over the place, I've looked on Instagram and loads of people have chosen like a really bright, different coloured colourway. Some people have done it in monochrome, some people have done different colours in the bow tie and in the flowers. There's loads of different ways of doing it, and I just couldn't decide. I know how I want it to look in the end, but I couldn't decide what colour to use. Anyway, eventually I chose, let's hope I wrote it down, 3799, like a good grey, and I'm using literally a piece of card that I've hole punched, and I've got 3 in there because I'm going to choose a lighter colour as well. Yeah, I was just going to say, I forgot to say even, it's 2 colours. So this is the darker colour on the hair and on the border and around the A, and then the rest I think is in this lighter colour that the alphabet's in, and the bow tie is in the light colour. So yeah, it's really cool. So I started this one on 40 count Legacy Linen by Pictureless Plus. In fact, I've just found the label. Yeah, Legacy Linen by Pictureless Plus. And I'm stitching this one in hand. I started in the middle, and this is how far I got. Tiny, tiny. I actually worked on 4 things on Valentine's Day. So I did some on the Astronaut, the Love piece. Started this one, and then I also started my next project that I'm going to show you. So I really didn't do very much, just to show you where this is. This is his, is that his jacket? The inside of his jacket? It's either the inside of his jacket or his tummy. Oh, sorry, it's this bit here with the buttons and the flowers and going down. So not a huge start, but it's a good start. So this is, at least I started in February. I'm just going to bring this in. How close can we go? Oh, sorry. So this is 40 count. So yeah, those are the stems of the flowers, and then that's the outline of his leg a little bit. I haven't decided the second colour yet. I will do, but I haven't quite decided yet. But that's where I am so far on this one. I think he's really sweet. So for March, I have to get sort of 2/3 of this done. So I'm thinking of doing the hair, the whole of the hair, and possibly, I think the border for March. So really February, March, and then April will probably be the alphabet, because that's the bit I'm not sure about the second colour. So yes, that's where I am so far on this one. Oh yeah, and for those of you who watched my last Flosstube, I put a little notice up right at the beginning of it to say apologies for sort of disappearing off camera. And it's because I didn't have a desk space anywhere, because I'm doing loads of work like around my house. I didn't have a desk space anywhere, there wasn't a table free, so I perched the camera on top of this unit, which is now gone because it was behind me, and I was standing up, and so I started off all the time talking normally, and then obviously just crept forward so I was off camera. So I don't know if that's a better for you all or worse, but yeah, I'm actually like at a table today, so hopefully I won't be disappearing anywhere. The other start that I had was a pattern by Kristi, and she is Dr. Kristi and Kristi's Corner Needlework, and I just love this pattern. I've done a full explanation of stuff in the last video, well not really, but I will put a link if I can find it to, well I will put a link below to Kristi's video talking about this pattern. So this is the first one of the series, and as soon as I saw it, that was it, and I started this one with Kelly on the 14th of February. Valentine's Day was appropriate, and also Kristi joined us to stitch it again. She'd already stitched it and gifted that one, and then decided to start again, so she started with us on the 14th of February. This is Nun Harvesting Phalluses. I'll put in a picture here of what it looks like if you was to search for it on Etsy, which is where it's available, and you will see that bits are kind of blurred out for good reason, obviously. So this is where I am so far. Now, before I put this up, this is not what it looks like. Is it this way around? Which makes it worse saying that, doesn't it? Is it this way around? Hang on, I've forgotten. No, it's this way around. Okay. Okay, this is what I've stitched so far. It's a hand, people. It's a hand. This is a hand here. This is a hand. This is a wrist. This is a hand. And there's the sort of, there's her fingers that haven't got stitches around them yet. We won't talk about what this and this is, but this is her hand. There's nothing rude here, nothing to see. Obviously she's picking something from the tree, but we won't talk about this or this yet. So yeah, I'm stitching this on 40 count, picture this plus, legacy linen, the same as spring hare. Sorry, I'm trying to get like good stitches. Sometimes it just gets too close, man. And also it's trying to focus on my fingers. So there you go. I'm stitching this one in hand. For this one, there's, I don't know, 15 colours, something like that. And I found an old floss organiser that I just had. You can just buy packs of these from Amazon really, really cheaply. Because I'm stitching 40 count with one strand, you really don't need very much floss. I won't need very much floss for this. I've just gone into my stash and pulled out like the smallest amount of stuff. You don't really, yeah, it's really a small amount. I don't know how much I'll need because I haven't done this kind of pattern in 40 count properly before. So anyway, that's where I am with that one. So if you're interested in the series and if you're interested in this pattern, check out Kristi, check out her Etsy as well, because she has patterns, other patterns, including temperature charts and that sort of thing. Those are my two starts for February. The other pieces that I had planned to work on were my three kind of weekend pieces, which are Snail House, Saturday, that's the Grape Snail House by Owl Forest Embroidery. Magwayen Sunday, which is by Magwayen by Bella Filipina, which is part of the Teresa Made Me Do It SAL. And then Mill Hill Monday is the Mill Hill Cappuccino kit that I have, which those are the Saturday, Sunday and Monday stitches that I wanted to do. So I think there's been 2 weekends since I saw you last, and I haven't had an opportunity to stitch on either of them. 2 or 3 weekends, and I just didn't get a chance to do that. So I'm gonna start back up again. There's no pressure. Like if I don't stitch it on a weekend, it doesn't matter. So I'm not going to show them to you this time because I haven't worked on them since my last Flosstube. If you want to see what they are properly, then check out my last Flosstube. I'll link it below. That's got more information about the stitch-alongs and more information with pictures and stuff of what the patterns are and where I am so far on them. So hopefully when I see you next, I will have more of an update. Those are the pieces I had planned for February. So they were 2 new starts, Love, Astronaut, my 3 weekend ones, and then my 8th one was going to be the Swans, which was part of the A Year in the Woods Stitchalong. Yeah. So I didn't start that one. I didn't think I'd start it. I didn't think I'd start it either. And a couple of days before the end of February, I was kind of like, oh, maybe I should just start it and get a few stitches in and then I can say it started. But realistically, what would have been the point? Sometimes I feel like this, and sometimes I would have gone for it, and I probably will. But this particular time, I just thought, why rush and just to get a few stitches in it to say I started it in February? It really doesn't matter. So, and actually, I was talking to Emma from Emma X Stitching, and maybe the goal this year isn't to do the whole thing. It's pretty unreasonable, realistically. Maybe the goal this year could be just to finish the winter strip. So the fox in the middle, the swans on one side, and then the reindeer on the other. And maybe this year could just be the winter one. Maybe that would be a nice, thing to do. See what happens. So plans for March are continue with Astronaut until it's finished, then that's my tummy rumbling, sorry. Then Love will be my full coverage focus piece, and I'm going to continue with Snail House Saturday, Magwayen Sunday, Mill Hill Monday. I'm going to work on Spring Hare until that is done for March, so like 2 sections of it. And then I was also thinking of, what were they? I was thinking that on the 14th of every month, maybe I could work on the Nun piece, because otherwise I am a bit worried that it's just going to sort of disappear into my whip pile, and actually I really want to get that one done, and especially if it's part of a series, I want to sort of, try and keep up with them. So I was thinking about that, and then I was also thinking, in my last video I talked about doing some October starts with Kelly, Halloween related October starts, and I've kind of fleshed out my plans now. I have 5 of them and I still have the 5 from last year, so I thought maybe on the 13th and the 31st I could stitch on a Halloween project, and I'm pretty sure I've got one that's quite close to a finish, and if one of those days happened to end on a weekend, then I could get quite a lot done, I think. So I'm wondering if, I know other people do this, is it, I can't remember, I remember people calling it something. If this is a thing and you know what people call it, then please let me know in the comments below. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, I thought maybe the 13th and the 31st I could stitch on Halloween stuff in order to sort of try and keep moving it. That's not very much time, but it's more than nothing. Otherwise in October I've just got 5 new October starts, getting a bit panicking about it. Anyway, so that is my February update. Just a bit of information around MerMaynia. So Emma and I are going to be hosting MerMaynia 2023. We are going to work on stuff mermaid related for the whole of May. I've had a couple of people messaging me about kind of what the plans are, what the kind of rules are, etc, etc. There are no rules for this one. If you have something mermaid related or merman related, just join us. If you've got something in your whip pile already, stitch on that if you want to join us. If you want to do some starts, do some starts. I'm going to be doing 5 mermaid starts. Well, technically 4 mermaid starts. My 5th piece will be Dark Queen of the Sea, which I'm aware is not a mermaid, but I'm going to do it anyway. So yeah, I'm going to have 4 starts and 1 pick up a whip in May for MerMaynia. So if you want to do 5 starts for MerMaynia, then you can do that. Anything mermaid related, starts, whips, doesn't matter. You choose and you join us if you want to. That would be awesome. We're going to use well, I've decided today sorry Emma, I've decided if we use #MerMaynia but then also #MerMaynia 2023, then that helps if anyone ever wants to look up this. Sorry, a massive truck's just gone past my house. If anyone ever wants to look this up again, then they can see everything for MerMaynia, but then they can also see the specific year. We have a Facebook group called SALQueens and Friends. That relates to kind of all of the Stitchalongs that we do. But instead of creating a group for 1 month of the year, we've decided to keep our Facebook group as the group for that. So if you are interested in MerMaynia and you want to see what the people are stitching and post your stuff and be part of a group around our Stitchalong, then please join. It's SALQueens and Friends. There's a couple of questions to get in, very simple questions, purely so that we know that you guys stitchers are joining our group and not other people who shouldn't be there really. Yes, so that's the plan. And in that group, if you post something, if you post the hashtag that we've kind of associated with the Stitchalong, then it does mean that people can search in that group for that particular hashtag and they can see the Stitchalongs and see things. So MerMaynia or MerMaynia 2023, or both in an ideal world. So yes, if you would like to join us, please do. And as I said, we've got the Facebook group. Please use that. Please come and join us. In my end of days book of days, I have been writing my totals, and if you would be interested in seeing a slightly more detailed view of what I've stitched in the month using this kind of me showing you like this stuff, then could you let me know? If anyone's interested, then I will show you this properly. But all I was just going to show you now is that for January I did, wait for it, 19,000 stitches in January, and in February I've got my in-month stitch count, which was, wait for it, 14,000 odd, and then yeah, my year to date, so my January and February together is 34,000 stitches. I'm also still on the lookout for copies of the spring hare pattern. I'm still struggling to find copies, so I will keep looking, and I will keep you all posted here and on Instagram if I can find it. I would love for you all to join in spring hare. I know some of you can't join because you don't have the pattern, so I'm still looking, but some of our Stitchalongs don't always finish on time, so you are more than welcome to join at any point this year, any year, whenever you get that pattern. And you never know, you might finish it in next year's Salathon in January. Who knows? So I think that's probably quite enough rambling from me now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you have, please do hit the like button, which is the thumbs up button below, and then the subscribe button as well if you're not yet a subscriber and you want to see more. If you ring the bell as well, then you can get notifications when I upload. Thank you very much. I hope you're all well, and see you at the next one. Bye.